Hi, I'm Ailbhe McDonagh, and today we're going to be talking about the bow, how far we might go to tighten it, and also how to rosin your bow and to take care of it. So the bow itself is made out of a wooden stick made out of Pernambuco wood, and you can see the bottom here, if I loosen the bow quite a lot, is made out of horsehair. So you can see there, when I went to the left on this screw at the end, then it makes it much looser. And then if I want to tighten my bow, I turn to the right, and you can see that the hair is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So people often ask me, how far do you go while tightening your bow? So at the very start, a good thing to remember is that you want it to be tight enough that when you put the bow on the string, obviously we never touch the bow hair because otherwise it'll get some oils from the fingers onto the hair itself, and that affects the sound. So we try and keep any kind of dirt, oil away from the bow hair at all times. But for now, I'll just explain to you, when you put the bow on the string and you play, then that the wood and the hair don't touch each other. That's generally a good marker. Often I find people over tighten the bow hair. And how I know that is, you can see here I have a good tension on the bow, and you can still see in the wood that there's a little bit of curvature in the wood. It's not straight across exactly. If you tighten it more than this, you'll see that it actually becomes sort of like a rectangle. Then when we're playing, we don't get any give in the sound. So we need a little bit of bend in the stick still to achieve the sound that we really want. Now we're going to talk about rosining the bow. There are many different types of rosin on the market, and I would definitely urge you to try a few different ones. Some of them are stickier or grippier than others, and it's really a preference as a cellist what you like yourself, so good to experiment. So often you'll have a little case for your rosin, so you take out the inside, which is generally stuck to this little cloth. And again, try not to touch the rosin. So a great way to do it is to just get the cloth on both sides. And then my favorite trick here is to put my thumb just over the silver part in the bow. The reason I do that is because rosin breaks even when you sneeze. It's just, if you dropped it on the floor, not in its package, it would probably break into a million different pieces. So if you're here and you're hitting something solid, it can often break as you're rosining. So I put my thumb over the silver and I start, and we go back and forth. So I like to edge up like this. And then go all the way back as well. And depending on how often you rosin your bow, you might need to go up and down again. Now, if you put too much rosin on, if you do this, then you'll see clouds of rosin dust coming off your bow, and that's when you know you've too much. But generally you will know when you start playing, if there's an area you forgot, it will sound a little different to the rest of the bow. So again, every single time you have to make sure that your rosin goes back in this little package because it breaks so easily. And then the final thing to think about is just that because we have the rosin there, how do we keep the bow clean, the stick itself? So there are instrumental cleaners and things like that. Generally, when you bring it to a bow maker for a rehair, they'll do a proper clean on the stick. So I would just suggest all the time when you finish, trying not to touch the hair at all, just give it a little wipe on the inside. And there we go. Care for your bow. A common question is, how often should I rosin my bow? So this depends on how much you play the cello or how much you practice. But in general, it's good practice to just do a little rosin every single time you play. And like I said, if you can see a whole cloud of rosin dust coming off your bow, then you don't need so much rosin. But if you feel your bow is skating across the string and not gripping so much, then you need more rosin on your bow. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.